guys. Today I'm just going to be doing some like rock earrings, and this is what I'm using. You don't have to use exactly the same. If you watch the tutorial, you can get an idea of what the process is and then choose the colours you like. I mean, I'm using pale pink just to save me mixing a lighter one, for example. So I've got here Cernit translucent, and I've got the pearl range. Dear me, hang on a minute, put my glasses on. Oh, they're steamed up. Sorry, 2 secs. Right, I've got pink rose in pearl. I've got magenta in pearl. I think that's just pearl white, pearl violet, and pearl blue. Okay, then I've got the Sculpey Primo in peacock blue. You could use a metallic blue if you haven't got it. I've got the Cernit metallic in hematite, and I think that's it. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to be mixing the blue and the purple with some pearl to make lighter shades. So I'll be back in a second. I've literally got the pearl white with a little bit of purple and a little bit of blue just to mix it in. I'm going to mix them in and I'll be back. If it's not dark enough, you can add a bit more colour. If it's too dark, you can add a bit more pearl. I'm just going to mix these and then I'll be back. Okay, so there's the blues, light blues done, and that's the lilac in the middle. So all I've done here is I've made 3 sausages. I've got the purple pearl, purple lilac we've made, and the translucent, okay? And I'm just going to skinner blend that. So first thing I'm going to do is just roll this down, and then I'm going to start putting it through the machine. Fold first, and I'm going to do it on a 0 and keep repeating until I've got the skinner blend I want. Okay, I've got the same here, the magenta pearl, the rose pearl, and translucent. Okay, so I'm just going to do another skinner blend with these and I'll be back. Okay, so I've done the pink one. I wanted that to be less because I want that to be more subtle, so I did a smaller block on purpose. I want it to be there but more subtle, not the sort of talk of the show. So I've done this again now. I've got the peacock blue Sculpey, the light blue we mixed with the pearl and translucent, and I'm just going to do another skinner blend. Okay, then exactly the same for the 4th colour, which is the hematite, pearl white and translucent. So I'm just going to do a quick skinner blend, and again not so much of this, but the pink and this I wanted it to be a smaller amount. Okay, so the next thing I'm going to do is just make them into blocks, because we're going to be slicing from them. So I've done 3 and I'll just show you at this one what I do. Just fold it over and start bringing it in. That's all you have to do. Very easy with this Cernit to do it as well. Okay. A little bit of blue flying, not that it matters because it's all going to get mixed up, but okay, so now I have my 4 blocks of colour, okay, and I'll be back for the next bit. Okay, so now all I'm going to do is start taking slices off, but I want to try and make them quite elongated so there's more than one shade showing. Okay, and just mix them up. So as you like, where you like. It's basically just a case of trying to, for me, what I'm aiming to do is get quite a bit of translucent in there too, as well as mix the colours, because you need the translucent to set off everything else. So a bit of an eye cat look going on there. Oh, look at that. Can you see all the shimmers? I don't expect you can. That just looks amazing. I wish you could I can see on the screen, it's just not showing it. Never mind. Okay, just keep going like this until it's completed and I'll be back. Okay, so now I'm going to run it through the machine on a 0. You can see the colours starting to come together. I've got a little flat spot there, so I'm just going to stick some translucent underneath to make it more even. I could do a bit of swapping around if I want at this point. So if your colours aren't very balanced, this is your ideal opportunity. Okay, because I'm going to fold it in half and run it through one more time and then we're done. So I'm shaping it best I can, and the next run on a 0 will be the final run. I've just got to work out which side I like best. This side, right, okay. I didn't use it all in the end, so I'll do something else with those. Okay, so what I want to do now, if you've got a heat gun, brilliant. I don't have a heat gun, so I use a hairdryer. So I'm just going to add some water, spray some water on this, and then I'm going to give it a quick shot with a hairdryer. I've just got to get some water and I'll be back. Okay, so I'm just going to run the hairdryer over it for about 30 seconds, see what it's like. I'll try pressing mute, I'll probably forget to unpress it. So here we go. Okay, that's going to need to totally cool down now. So basically the aim is to just sort of dry the top, the very top, so it crusts. Okay, I'm in the middle of getting ready to do a bigger tutorial, and I went and used dark green glitter in preparation, and no matter what I do, it's appearing everywhere. Wouldn't mind, but there's no green in this, so it's not like you can get away with it. Okay, so let me get an idea now when I pull. I'm probably going to give it another 20 seconds, and then I'm going to let this cool down totally, and then I'll be back. Okay, so it's all cooled down now, and when I go to bend it or pull it, I can see it's going to break a bit. So I've run out some translucent on a number 2, which I'm putting underneath, and then hopefully when I put it through the machine, it'll crackle nicely and we'll get a bit of a balance. It doesn't matter that it's not all covered because I won't use it all, but I'll put it through on a 0 and see what happens. I may have to cut this in half. There we go. Yeah, I'm going to have to cut this in 2. It's worked out quite big. I'm going to use that half because it's got the blue in it as well. So I'm going to roll that again now down to on a 2. And then I got me a really nice, let me see if I can, might be better just to show you. I think it shows it better. Okay, so it's nice and crackled, really pretty colours. Okay, let me just get that back out while I think of it. Right, next step. Now you can do whatever you like. I'm tending to use this for things like moulds and that, because I'm getting quite interested in stone stuff. Just stretching that blue out. I've noticed that the peacock blue didn't crackle as easily as everything else. Just interesting. So it may be better to use a metallic blue. I don't know. So anyway, next thing I'm going to do now is I'm halving it again simply because I don't want to do this with all of it, but I'm going to show you with some. So what I'm going to do now, just to create it's going to look very pretty anyway, the stone, but I want to actually add some salt as well on this bit, just to give it some, because it's rock salt and white salt, it doesn't give any colour, but it will give a really nice crackle. It's a bit of a pain doing it, because normally if you do a rock salt thing, you keep it flat. Well, obviously I'm not, because if I'm going to be using moulds, I'm going to be lifting it up and moving it around a bit. So unfortunately, you will have bits of salt coming back out. You'll have to embed it back in, etc. But that's fine. It's just part of the process. It's certainly worth doing for the outcome. Okay, so now I'm just going to add. I'm not going mad. I'm just going to sprinkle some around. If any are too big, I'll just remove them. I just want random little holes appearing when I'm making the, and I may have to add them. Sometimes I find it's easier to make the mould, fill it, then take it out carefully and add some salt at the last minute. I'll show you what I mean, because it does tend to fall out a little bit. Oops, that was my roller gone on the floor. Okay, so that's where I'm at the moment. So now I'm going to get myself, now, got all my moulds in a little box here. So I get these moulds, you can get them on Amazon, and they're really cheap. I think AliExpress do them as well, and they're under £1. But this is where you can, let me find some I've done. Here's some I've done with a different thing, but if you see what I mean, you get the nice shape. There's the salt, you can see there. I haven't worked with these yet, they're still just in waiting, but that's sort of like what you use, what I'm using. So I'm going to go for a few different molds, and then I'll choose one for the pair of earrings for the tutorial. So I think for the earrings for the tutorial, I'm going to have to use the same mold twice because I don't have two of each. I'm going to go for this mold. So I'm just going to show you what I do. Right, I'm looking at colours, and I'd like to have a bit of, so I go there, see what happens. I feel like it needs twisting or something. I'm actually going to go right against the grain and do exactly not something I planned. I think it's going to look better. So I'm mixing it up. I'm going to shape it the best I can, and then I'm going to add some, there is salt in there now, but I'm going to be adding any bits now that fall out. I'm going to be adding to the mould. So now I'm ready to put it in. I'm just adding a few lumps of salt so that it misshapes it and gives it that broken look that I'm looking for. So I'm just adding a few bits here, there and everywhere. Then that will go into the mould. Which way do I want it? I mean, it's ad hoc when you do this. You cannot guarantee how it's going to come out. So it is hit and miss to an extent, but you can manipulate it somewhat. So that's what I'm doing. Now that I sort of cheated with that one. I'll do a better one. I'll do a normal mould as well, just to show you in an easier format. But this is for the earrings. Now, if you don't have these moulds, you can just cook some of this, roll it into a ball, and then shape it with your knife when it's baked. If you put it in hot water, it'll cut exactly how you want it. So, from that respect, it's very easy to do it without a mould. Okay, so that's the mould done. I'm going to do that twice to get the earrings I want from this tutorial, and I will just quickly do one other mould. Right, I love this mould, but I've ruined it. I keep cutting the edges. This is from the Russian man Yaroslav's moulds. He has said that if I use his moulds, he will send some more. So I'm using this one now. And I'm just trying to think of the best area. The colours, it's like, where do you choose from? There's too many. It's so pretty. This is actually, I had an old necklace, and it's a stone one I made a while back. I'll see if I can find it. But it had exactly these colours in, especially the hematite, and it really set it off. So that's why I got the idea for these colours. Right. Now, let me just give this mould a clean so I can just show you it was a bit fiddly doing that earring one. So this is more just to show you how to go about the process. And you know, I'm also going to break this up and put it in. I'm not just going to, I think there's too much of one colour in one area, and I want to spread the colour a little bit. So I'm going to do this to push it in and see what happens. Get a bit of black down there. Okay. Let's have a look at what the front looks like in a minute. So I can take it back out now. I haven't filled it yet, and it gives me an idea of what I'm going to have there, doesn't it? So, you know, if I wanted to add a bit of a different colour, whatever, you can actually do that at this point. You really can manipulate. I'm going to add a few little elements of clear. They don't look right, do they? So I'm going to have to twist them round a bit. There we go, that's better. Now I'm going to put that back in and just see if I can add a few little salt bits. So any bits lying around, I'll go in on this little man here. And then I'll just manipulate it in. Now, I think I've said before, I found with these moulds, when I make it, I never take them out straight away. I'll always leave it for about half an hour, and I don't know what happens. It happens with the other moulds as well. If you leave it for about half an hour, when you do take them out, not only are they shaped nicer because it's cooled down, but they get a nice sort of a shimmer on them. It's like a polished look, so they almost look shiny. So I do like to do that. Oh, me looking for the roller and it fell on the floor, didn't it? Okay, so I'm going to leave that for about half an hour. I'm going to bake this one and then repeat and bake it. Sorry, bake this one, repeat and bake again. I wonder whether to just make, just in case you haven't got moulds, I'm wondering whether to just quickly, yeah, I'm just going to quickly put together a little block. I just want to sort of let you see that it is very possible to make your own shape. So I'm just creating a rock shape sort of thing, and if I was doing earrings I'd do two. I don't need to do two because I've got my molds, but this is how easy it is, you know, cut it in half, shape them up, and then you can put them into the oven like this, and then when they come out you can actually shape them yourself if you want to, whatever. Okay, so I'm going to put all that into the oven and then I'll see you on the other side. Hi guys, so I'm back. Look how beautiful. These are the ones I just did by hand without the thing. Look how beautiful they've come out colour wise. I'll see if I can zoom in. They're just absolutely beautiful, and they haven't even been resined or anything yet. Okay, so they're ready to go in the oven, but I'm just going to show you how I did this. It's really simple. They're also different, depends what part you went to, you know. So these are the two. Sorry, as usual, my bloody microphone. Hang on. Right. Okay, so for this now, I want a kind of a grey, so I'm going to go to the spare from the hematite, pearl and white. Cut off about that much. It should be enough for both. I'm just going to mix it into one, or at least semi-mix it. See how it looks as we go. But I'm really, really pleased with the outcome. There's so many nice pieces, but I haven't done anything with them yet, so I don't want to show you. Not quite yet. Okay, so this is quite a silvery colour, which is great. So I'm going to run that through on a number 2. Allow about half for each earring. And looking at these stones, that's actually the bottom. I'd rather they were the bottom actually. Which way should they go? Hang that way or that way? No, that's your top. Okay, so I'm literally just, you can use liquid clay if you feel more confident. I'm not bothered. There's holes in here from the salt. Everything else it's certainly going to hold. So first of all, I literally just shove it around the top. I'll just show you with one and then I'll repeat it with the other. So I'll get a basic shape. Try to make sure you don't go too far down. Then you get something to texture it with. On this occasion, I'm just using like a rocky texture, which just allows me to get a nice pattern. Okay, like that. Then in order to do the hook bit part, I'm just going in with a knife like that. Got my jump ring. Make sure that I've got the clip, the bit where it joins, going down and into the clay. Not I don't want that showing. I'm going to actually probably do it a little bit higher up. You'll soon feel if it's embedding right. See, that's too low there. Try it again. Get there. It's all part of the fun, isn't it? Okay. So I'll get it right, and then I'm just going to play around with it until I'm happy with it. Keep making sure you're aware it's straight and know which side is the front and which isn't. And then I'm just going to get a little Swavorski crystal and stick it in about there, because that just sets it off nicely. Okay, so I'm going to repeat that with the other one, and then I'm going to put them in the oven to cook, and then I'll see you on the other side. Okay, so here we are. I'm rather pleased with them, even if I say so myself. So these are the ones done with the mould. Okay, and all I did once they came out of the oven was I just added some findings, a little bit of rub and buff on the pattern thing we did, and just a bit of Fimo varnish on the rocks. Okay, so that's Fimo varnish, rub and buff, and then just added the findings. So that's the one pair. Shout at me if I forget to zoom back out. And these are the ones I did by hand. Remember I said if you don't have a mould, don't be frightened not to have a go. So I don't know how clearly you can see them. They really are so pretty. Much nicer than they look on the screen. They're richer. Okay, so that's them. out one, and then this is these. Oops, daisy. Okay. Hopefully you can see nice and clearly, and they really are translucent, and where the salt was and still is the residue, and I varnished over it, you know, it looks really, really pretty. Also, I've got a few other pieces which I haven't finished yet, but I thought I'd give you an idea of other things you can do with this. Let me just zoom right out. Whoa, no, I'll come in one. Right, so I made that pendulum. Oops, well, I'll just pick them up one by one. I made that pendulum, which I haven't done anything with yet. It still needs to be resined and coloured. Then we've got these ones. I mean, I just used a little amethyst stone on that one, Swavorski with that one. This one I've put holes through the side so I can wire through. I just used a toothpick. This one here is just another similar one. Nothing done to it yet. This one I'm really pleased with. I don't know if you can see. So it looks like a gold rock and it's broken and it's all coming through. But I've got to finish that. But I'm really pleased with that. I might do a tutorial or something for that. And then I've still got all these babies here, which I haven't even looked at yet. So that's the ones from the bigger moulds. Just showing you how this is all the same stuff, and this is how different it can look depending on what part you're using and how it's mixed. So there's a load of different versions of the same stuff. So there you go, and I've still got 4 little blocks of each colour left. So that's really good for the amount. Okay, so I hope you enjoyed that. I actually enjoyed it. I just love these colours, they're gorgeous. Okay, so I hope you enjoyed it. Thank you for watching.